Good morning, and I'm from Mysuru, Karnataka. Though I was born in Andhra, but all my conscious life I have spent in Mysuru. Of course, I was here in America for 10, 12 years or so. I'm so-called trained scientist. I worked in DuPont, Portland, Oregon, a lot of places. Noise. Yeah.
That's not good. It's not all like this.
It's actually, I was disturbed first when I came to America, a small 6-year-old girl starting with menstruation cycles at that particular young age, which is very disturbing for me as a scientist. That means we have disturbed the hormonal balance of human race, though it was one single case at that time. But then now average age of women, it's confusing. Girl becoming woman, that is now around 8 years or 9 years on this planet, including in India and small villages. Girls are menstruating very early. So this was 1986 or 7. So what actually happened is simple. For some reason, European and American women did not want to feed their babies. It was time consuming or whatever reasons. I cannot fathom the reasons why they wanted to get away from that act. So these scientists took some cows from India. For heaven's sake, there are no cows in America or Europe. Understand? They borrowed one or stole one or whatever. They did IVF. In vitro fertilization was first discovered for that reason because they wanted every cow to give milk. They want to substitute mother's milk to the babies from the cow's milk. Not that giving cow's milk to the babies is not known to human race, but it was, I think, very rare when the mother was not feeding, when something went wrong. And in different parts of the world, yeah, different parts of the world, different animals were used for occasions. But on the whole, the human babies were fed grains milk, like foxtail millet milk, bajra milk, coconut milk. And in Europe and Northern America, I think they were feeding pine nut milk or these kinds of nuts were actually soaked. Milk was made, and those milk were substituted once mother's milk started stopping when they had to wean. So basically, mother's milk is switched off. The same time, the baby's tummy stops digesting the milk. There is no enzyme that can digest the milk. It is also switched off. It is synchronized as the mother's. So it's all natural stuff. And the constituents of the mother's milk is actually very dynamic. It keeps changing as the baby grows. And so the hormonal ratio, the balance in the mother's milk fits the growth of the baby and all that is calculated. Very minor. But then here we are as a whole introduce IVF. That's because all the cows are not bearing to give calf and then milk. So they said if you take care of 100 cows, only 10 cows give milk. That's not sound for economic to these companies. Our Indian government writes of 0.39 crores to these companies to provide fertilizers and pesticides to the farmers. And that's the same thing in America too. This, in fact, is much more acute. They decide what to grow, what not. Farmers have nothing to do with that. There are apex bodies growing the food here. You understand this business? So the rice that you think you're eating kilo 50 rupees in India is actually costing 3,000 rupees for each and every kilo produced. And that is not counted. And so even the so-called intellectuals think rice is 50 rupees, and when I grow millets and provide them at the cost of 100 rupees per kilo, that is costly, this is cheap. 100 rupees is absolute price, nothing at all. And here we have more than 3,000 rupees. We are all put in endocrine system. The juices of these Douglas plants has to be actually fed into the blood. So when the blood becomes thick, all the juices cannot even enter the skin. So they start accumulating in themselves. Then endocrine system now is going heavy. So now you have TSH high yields. So you take a tablet. Thyroid. Take. Now 28% of American women are detected with thyroid. Smaller goblet another. Can you see how we are manufacturing disease? So how do you get out of this? Eat millets, which actually control the release of glucose into your body because they are loaded with fiber along with the carbohydrates. So if your digestive system has to get glucose into blood, it has to figure out a way of removing the fiber from the carbohydrate or other way around. And the docking system of the enzyme is confused because you have fiber around. So it goes, and then it looks at it, it's not available. So let me work around it. So it takes time. So the glucose is released slowly and steadily into your blood. That's God made, and that's exactly what you want. Even if I feel my tummy perfectly placed. So if you eat millets, whose fiber content is 8 grams, in foxtail millet you have 8 grams. Raju, can you give me the phone? I want to know how much time I don't want to go on babbling. I want to be aware of when did we start? What time? 10 to 5. So already 10:59. If you get bored, I will speak. So where are we? Foxtail milk has got 8 grams of fiber content with approximately 63%. So if you divide the carbohydrate by fiber content, you get single digit. Ground up millet has actually got 69% of carbohydrate, but 12.5% of fiber. So you get 5.5 or something. So these 5 grains are minor millets: kodo millet, foxtail millet, barnyard millet, brown top millet, and little millet. But their carbohydrate by fiber ratio is to single digit. That's below 10. There are another set of 5 millets: proso millet, finger millet, pearl millet, great millet, and another is nasi also giving 100 liters. For 25 liters, you see, we are number one this set. And that's how it. Number one is not enough. We are A1 milk then. And then our milk became A2. Then they started feeding the babies milk. Then already by then the sugar was in large quantities used by Europeans and Americans. They started adding sugar to the milk and then tasted and then gave the babies. That started the problem. The girls started menstruating early. Well, by 5 years, 10 years, decade by decade, almost all over the world, this technique, technology in the name of making milk And then these experts started declaring milk complete food. It has calcium, it has this, it has that. And we are also going to fortify the milk with vitamin D. So for the last 40, 50 years, all over the world, people are drinking milk left and right because it's fortified by D and calcium, you have a lot of nutrients. So all the scientists, all the doctors, all the experts saying milk is good food for everyone. It's not just for the baby, it's good for everyone because they wanted the business. Gallons and gallons of milk sucked out of these poor cows with machines. And then because when the amount grows, they wanted to stabilize, preserve. All these chemicals started coming in, pasteurization techniques, kill all the microbes that are there. I mean, all this processed food is actually your milk. That the constituents, the hormone balance is different for the calf's growth. In 6 months, it grows this big, and your baby grows only this much. And we didn't matter to these scientists and these experts. No problem, keep giving. That's how the girls started menstruating early. And the hormones, sex hormones, are the ones which decide the sex of the baby in your womb. So the balance is very, very, very crucial and very critical. It's just micro balances. You can never achieve that. It is God's genetic coding that makes these things happen there and then at that particular time. It's very dynamic and excellent work goes on all along, all over the world in all kinds of animals, depending upon their need and their balance. So here we have done the biggest mistake, thinking that cow's milk is good for you and declaring, and all the scientists talking the same thing. The most unscientific thing human race did is to take the milk and declare that it is complete food. It is not food at all. So now here we have the whole race without any question adapting to these technologies. It's all business. So business started dictating science. Until today, no one asked the same question. Why are women menstruating early? All the gynecological problems started coming and thousands of gynecology doctors started appearing, experts after experts, but no problem is solved till today. Women started getting hair on their upper lip, no problem, we have beauty parlors, another business. Go on and on and on. So that's what was trigger point for me as soon as I was a young boy, just finished my PhD in English of Science on steroids. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, all these breadth and width of these studies. So I just came to that. This was the shock. So I said, these guys are all calling themselves advanced learning. What are these going on? And I started asking this question. They said, keep quiet. So all the problems that we have faced for women can just be wiped out like that if human race stops drinking milk. That's it. So the whole industry of medicine for women is based on a wrong premises, which is easier. Telling people not to drink milk or go on and on and on and on. And to produce milk, 1 liter, you need almost 20,000 liters of water. You see how unecological, when using the word uneconomical, unecological. We don't need anything, but we are spending 20,000 liters of it and producing trillions of liters of milk and calling it as food and damaging the ecology. Because to produce grass, to produce this number of cows, and it's humongous. The carbon footprint is so big. And then here we make Allah Bulla saying environment is growing, global warming, all these things. So it's actually 1/3 reason why we have carbon footprint. 10.1 billion tons of carbon footprint is there. Out of that, 1/3 is the reason that you are all drinking coffee, tea, paneer, cheese, orange. What did we achieve after that? Autoimmune diseases, gynecological problems, whole cycles gone haywire, infertility, all these issues. And people have been doing research for the last 50 years. So that's when it hit me that this is not the right thing to do. So when you look at rice, wheat, and sugar, again, another great revolution, green revolution. This was white revolution. Now people are running around with pink revolution. So carbohydrate, they said we are producing 3 times more yield if you take the C3 grasses. This rice and wheat are C3 grasses. You give them water, it produces more. The grains are, the yields increase. So they said, oh, we found a miracle technology called green revolution. We give fertilizer, we give water, so build dams and give water, you increase the yields 3 times, 4 times. And they said, this expert, oh, this is food security. In the name of food security, they said, but all over the world, what were people eating? They were eating pellets. All over the world, there are 6,000 varieties of these C4 grasses, wherein they don't require water at all. Even if there is 10 centimeter rainfall, they can grow. High centimeters of rainfall, they can grow. 10 degrees centigrade, they can grow. 50 degrees centigrade, they can grow. No problems whatsoever. Weather is not a parameter at all. So now here we have all over the world 6,000 varieties of C4 grasses giving different kinds of grains, starting from unseen. When the size of the seed is so small that your eyes cannot see. In our India, they call it Shudradharya. That means simply the grass is growing without knowing. Just no trace of any seed coming and all that. So that's called Shudradharya. Then Trunadharya, Chirudharya, Kirudharya. These are South Indian language. And up north, Mota Anaj, Chota Anaj, Lagudhan. All these were there and all over the planet. Italian millet is known as foxtail millet. The kernel actually looks like foxtail. That's why it's called foxtail. Barnyard millet, open spaces of barns. This grain was growing. It's called Budalu in Kannada. Like this different languages, Jingora in Hindi, Sama, Kutki, Kangri. Like these different names of different parts of the Indian continent. Barnyard millet. And then brown top millet. In fact, even today, Colorado grows tons and tons of it. Little millet, African continent, harbored almost all communities in African countries were eating these millets. So there are more than 200 to 300 varieties of millets that the human race on this planet was eating. So these green revolution experts came and said, hey guys, you are eating coarse grains. This is bird feed. This is pig feed. This is animal feed. This is primitive food. You're all backward fellows. These are the experts' words. Exactly. It's not my word. Go back and see sometime in 70s or 80s, all over the planet, this green revolution started unfolding. All the media, all the wherever, if you had TV, if you had papers started writing like this. Then all of a sudden, all over the continents, the farmers felt that they are not growing food, they are growing bird feed. Even today, the FDA writes the so-called apex scientific body on this planet, brown top millet, not for human consumption. Once that declares all over the world, everyone started identifying it as bird feed. It's bird feed, it's pig's feed, it's primitive food, it's your food too. Because when you eat millets, the glucose homeostasis is maintained all along. When you eat rice, wheat, sugar, homeostasis of the blood is disturbed. Let me explain what homeostasis means. It is balance of all the things that are dissolved in the blood. And the highest amount dissolved is glucose. Remaining all constituents are very less in quantity. So the homeostasis depends on the balance, the amount of glucose in your blood. You have 5-6 liters of blood in the body, everyone. Americans, Africans, Indians, Muslims, Brahmins, it doesn't matter what it is. You still have 5 to 6 liters of blood. Each liter of blood should have 1 gram of glucose approximately in that range. And if it exceeds more, homeostasis is disturbed. The physical dimension, what it means is it makes the blood thick. So the immediate impact and the effect is that your heart cannot pump the blood with the same strength. So because the blood starts moving slower, it starts scaling. All the blood vessels start scaling. So then you have created a condition where your blood vessels can start accumulating something, whatever is coming out of the blood. It starts having, especially around heart, you can have heart blocks. So you have created what is called hypertension. That is blood pressure. So you go to doctor says, what should he say? He should say, don't eat rice, wheat, and sugar because you are disturbing your homeostasis of the blood. On the contrary, he says you take a blood thinner. Okay, I will take. How long should I take, doctor?
Like lifelong. Lifelong.
I'm very happy. I can give tablets lifelong. Keep coming. Now, that's what doctor thinks, but then the human body doesn't think like that. This glucose is extra. I should do something about it. It makes cholesterol, little bit of triglycerides, little bit of glycogen, little bit of meat. Because excess glucose in the blood starts absorbing water from each and every living cell and parches the living system. So that's the immediate danger. So what it does is it changes the nature of glucose. It converts it into different metabolites so that that immediate danger is averted. Other chemicals do not absorb water like glucose. If you just put sugar here, it will absorb water from atmosphere and it will see where it is. Salt and sugar have got this chemistry. So simple. So immediate emergency, I should avoid the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, and other endocrine systems, which actually oversee all these biochemical reactions, start working. That's not their work, but you have made started because Green Revolution, you started eating rice, wheat, and in these Americans, donuts, this like that, so much sugar. India alone now produces 58 lakh tons of sugar. And the Everglades have disappeared because Americans are happy dabbling in sugar. So we have created BP, and all of a sudden glycogen and then fat accumulates. People started putting on weight. No problem, it's called obesity. In fact, in 2018 or 19, I came first June, received me in Houston, Texas. I come out, big wall, so big wall. Welcome. It's big. Everything is big here. Then I just walk out, people are walking like this. 200 kilos, 300 kilos. Not Americans, even Indians. Why did they become so big? Because they started eating sugar, rice. The excess glucose started accumulating in their eyes, buttocks, anywhere it can. It started pushing because it wants you to be non-diabetic, non-BP patient. How long can it continue? You become BP patient, you become diabetes. So you are adding diseases after disease. And then these doctors are saying these are incurable. So lifestyle diseases. They are in fact lifetime diseases we are manufacturing. If only the doctors tell do not eat rice, we eat sugar, they all will disappear from the planet like that. Just like that. The logic is simple. We have disturbed the homeostasis of the plant. Just like that. The science was so clear to me. Of course, now we have pink revolution. You need protein, you need protein. Your kidney is going kaput. You know, kaput means it's now absorbed into English also. The word kaput. I think originally it is a North Indian Bihari word or something like that. But it has come to Hindi and then now English because kaput, gone, yes. The kidneys are gone, kaput, because there is no protease in your mouth. Human bodies do not have a single protease in the mouth to the tummy. The total proteases available in the human gut is only 4 to 6%. Genetically, all the enzymes in the digestive system, most of them are carbohydrate degrading enzymes. And now these guys are telling because they do not stop at rice, wheat, and thing, they have got corn genetically modified, soybean genetically modified. They mix these things and start making animal feed. You feed them to chicken, you feed them to cows, you feed them to pigs. You go to China, they feed them to everything and then start eating everything. Americans are not comfortable if you say you eat dog because their pets, oh, you're eating dog. You go to Korea, they are happily eating dogs. They say, are you eating pigs? We don't eat pigs. We all are eating meat. The pig or cow or this or that because you are feeding this artificial feed and making meat. And that too, the chickens are actually eat like that and they actually put on weight after 1 year or so, 1 kilo or 2 kilo. But then here you have the feed with steroids, antibiotics. In 2 to 7 weeks, they put on 3 kilos. They're injecting steroids. Oh, very nice. This chicken, that chicken. Go on eating. What do you need? You need only 3 to 4% of protein. In fact, that's how we are designed to digest. You degrade the protein into amino acids and start making protein of yours. Now, deer eats the plant protein and makes its protein. Horse eats the plant food and makes its protein. But then dog, cat, or lion, or tiger eats animals and then makes its. So carnivores have got digestive enzymes from their mouth to digest protein and convert them into their protein. We do not have that luxury. But still we eat because these guys want to make more chicken, more pig, more. Then all of a sudden H1N1, H5N1, mad cow disease, swine flu, chicken flu, bird flu, all these viruses because those animals do not have the immune system sound. They're only feeding steroids and this and that immune system gone haywire, harboring this. So we started entering the domain of infectious disease. And then no problem, we'll make vaccines, one after the other. Now, in America and Europe, 23 vaccines are set, one after the other. Baby, before even coming out, they are ready with the.
Vaccine.
So the baby, so these guys are enjoying, we will not come out. You will not come out. Don't worry, don't come out. We will take care of the tummy and blood. So now cesarean births, I'm giving you that reason, but they want to do cesarean birth because it costs more energy. This is how science is twisted, and we are entering into the domain where there are girls are not coming out through their vagina, mother's vagina. And there is a simple scientific reason for the babies to come through vagina because the mother lodges an inoculum of microbes into your mouth so that the gut microbes start growing in your body. That symbiotic gut microbes without which nothing happens in your body because the living cells of our body cannot adapt to the environmental and the things conditions. This symbiotic microbe get that adjustments and start making corrections to the biological system and provide you the things that you need that our living cells cannot make. This is the scientific reason why gut microbes are there in your tongue. So you host, they do something for you. This is the logic. And this has been there in all animals. And in fact, if it is this gut microbes that make vitamin B12 like compounds that no one can make, no animal can make actually. It is the microbes. So the microbes in the deer make vitamin B12 for that animal. Microbes in our gut makes this. And it is in B12 that actually is very important in making excess glucose to our protein. See, all these things are one-to-one connections are there. But here in the name of business, we are breaking all this balance. So you have microbial imbalance, you have hormonal imbalance, you have glucose imbalance. And all these diseases are appearing, no problem, we will have tablets. For every year, we have a pill. You see, this is exactly what has happened in the last 70 years. In fact, these three imbalances, it is me who has coined first time in the human history. Glucose imbalance, microbial imbalance. So I hope in the last 10, 15 minutes you understand the science is plotted, business is plotted. Am I clear? Am I making sense? So what is left for the human race? Sickness management. So centralized food production systems create these diseases and no expert talks about it and then keeps acting as an expert, misguiding people to go to hospitals to collect tablets and lead their life miserably for the remaining period of time. Lo and behold, there is one more revolution. Pink revolution is over. It is actually going on. Already one more revolution is planned called blue revolution. They don't want to stop at it. They want to enter the ocean and make carbon copy fish to large scale to provide all around the world. Fish have peculiar characteristic of accumulating these heavy metals like lead, mercury, arsenic. They have because they have to live in the ocean. So they have a kill system, but nothing disturbs them. They only accumulate in there because they have completely different metal dealing capacity. We don't have. No animal actually has. And these metals are supposed to disturb your nervous system. So you people start eating more and more raw food, you start getting your nervous disorders. So Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, all these diseases started appearing. All in the name of genetically modified foods. GMOs are your food. And we all are, oh, why I didn't get this, why did I know we are doing research, we are doing research. And all kinds of lifestyle disease, this style disease, simply naming something and we are all being fooled. But the fact of the matter is, our food has changed. Time immemorial, human races did not have any of these diseases. These are all appearing in the last 75 years. So this was my analysis. I said this is focus, focus. These guys are all just doing hangama. Let me go back. By the time I come from a very poor family, so when I came, I thought I should make some money. Money matters. But I had to go back. I said, okay, I'll go and work in Central Food Technological Research. And I got a good job there as a senior scientist. And then I went and proposed all these Khadar issues. Work on soya. Is that hell with you? I resigned my job and people thought I'm a mad fellow because it's central government job, very senior scientist. When you retire, you get your pension itself, you will get 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees. But for me, it was not a deal. So actually, I came back because I didn't have enough money even to build a house. I lived in thatched huts. My father was a tailor. We had tough time, but they took care of us. Also, and Indian families, lot of love and affection. So I had to go back. I didn't have enough money, so I came back again. I just visited yesterday near Philadelphia. I was there for 5 years in Wilmington, Delaware. DuPont, a multinational company. We did a lot more nonsense as a scientist. Of course, I figured out a lot of things. I don't want to go into details. But then I made some money and then I said enough money and I will go back and work as an independent and bring back the lost, forgotten is the word nowadays all scientists are using. That is not forgotten. That was distinctly played in the boardrooms of these food corporates, and actually they got eliminated because the farmers kept on growing because that's what they could grow in the barren lands and where there is no water. And that land is actually 90% available on this planet where there is no water facility. And in fact, all over the world, irrigation became the only way of being farmers. If you have water, then you can grow. And all the food that can be grown without water, just with rain, became no food. You see the point? And in the name of science and technology, the rights of the farmers have been stolen away because the seeds that these guys, in the name of technological advances, were patented and intellectual property rights. So people are food sovereignty of farmers has been completely taken up. The rights of the seeds are not the farmers. Every year the farmer has to go to the seed companies. So farmers are eliminated too. And the rain-fed agriculture became no agriculture. So for many years, these farmers went on growing the food, the real food, but no one to eat. And then the farmers were told, you are backward fellows. You are eating pig food. So all at a sudden, they said, why am I growing this? And the corporates found a way neutral things because the finger millet has got 3.6 fiber content, and the remaining all are below. So when you see carbohydrate by They are in double digits, 20, 25, 50. And when you come to rice and wheat, it is 79 in wheat, 1.2 gram and 75 or something like that. And wheat is 75 or 79, and rice has got only zero point 0.2 grams, just the top layer. The remaining all is carbohydrate, pishta we call in Sanskrit. So the ratio is 395. So if it is way beyond, the number is increasing, and they exactly can cause. And it is the present day experts are calling glycemic index. That's a calculated number. It is not a right way of checking it. So, right way of putting it across to you is that if you take a grain, if it releases glucose slowly and steadily into your bloodstream, that can heal you. Apart from producing glucose slowly and steadily and maintaining the balance, which alone can heal many of your so-called lifestyle or lifetime diseases. That is thyroid, rheumatism, obesity, this, that, all this stuff. So it is the food that gives you health, that prevents all these diseases. And if you do not take milk, animal milk, substitute with many of these millets, you can make milk from foxtail, mixed milk from little millet, milk from kodo millet. Just grains, remove the husk, soak it for 8 to 10 hours, and grind it, put it in a cotton cloth and squeeze, you get the milk. And that you warm or you make some dish, some different recipes. That itself will give you, in fact, you can feed your babies coconut milk, groundnut milk, bajra milk. In fact, the major millets size is bigger than these minor millets. That's why it's called major millets, minor millets. So ragi actually harbors 4 times more calcium, absorbable calcium than the milk. These experts said, I know how much milk has any calcium. It's only 900 milligrams per liter. That's why I asked these doctors and experts, show me the calcium in milk. Actually, when I went back and started telling the villagers and the consumers of this, there is no calcium in milk. Then even a small baby in a village, if you want calcium, drink milk. But she's telling me that. And all the experts, anyone, even so-called in process, milk, calcium. So all drinking milk, oh, menopause, you need calcium, drink calcium, milk. You're actually disturbing your hormones much worse. So you just substitute coconut milk or groundnut milk or ragi milk or sesame seed milk. Why did I say sesame seed milk? Sesame seeds have got 10 times more calcium than your milk. Gram to gram, 10 times more. If you drink 1 kilo, you've got 10 grams of calcium. In fact, that proof is all over the world. All kinds of communities use sesame seeds. Even they are making bread. Any time and everywhere they are sticking sesame seed. You go to old and ancient methods. Everyone uses them. All planet because it has got 10 times more calcium. Do you see any expert, any doctor telling you if you have calcium problem, eat sesame seed laddu? Dr. Khadar is the first doctor telling people to do so. We have eliminated all these nonsensical problems of women. They started drinking sesame seed milk, finger millet milk. So many problems. That's a PCO. Now today's girls are 80% of the girls are PCOS or PCO. So like this, we have been analyzing each and everything that goes into your mouth. and found the alternative systems that were used by ancestors, not only in India, in fact, I've traveled to many other places and figured out that they were more scientific than the so-called science in quotes. 6% of type 1 diabetes, 8% of physically handicapped and disturbed sexual orientation, 22% total. And we have no problem. All because our food gone wrong. If only we change once, you are yogi. If you eat twice, you are yogi. If you eat thrice, you are sick fellow, yogi. If you eat 4 times, take him away. But the experts now tell you have to eat every 3 hours. 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. After you sleep, also get up and eat. Can you believe this? Absolute nonsense. All of a sudden, this is consuming. This is exactly the corporate's plan. And the experts are towing their lines. I just couldn't believe not 1, 2, 3, 4, all over the world. Experts are towing this line. That means they have such an established network that anything they want, they can make it happen. Unbelievable. So, in fact, if you eat once after the sunrise, in fact, sunrise means the most important thing that the human bodies are endowed with, these ductless glands are actually activated by the sun rays of the early morning sunrise. There are 12 different kinds of sun frequencies that happens only when the sunrise time. 12 different frequencies. And in fact, they are the names of the sun. Surya, Bhaskara, Pushna, Maitreya, Ravi. These are all not names. These are actually the frequencies of the sun when he is coming at the horizon out. Because of that horizon and the people, the transference of the sunlight into different frequencies. And that in our Puranas are actually grouped into 4 events. Prabodaya, Ushodaya, Arunodaya, Suryodaya. So they are blocks of 3 frequencies. Prabhas. You should actually get up in the morning and experience that Prabhas, that Ushas, that Arunas. So this transition actually gets you that orange color. And our eyes, rods and cones are designed to can take that orange color till that Aruna blocking the sun. Aruna, by the way, Puranas tell you, is the chariot. Aruna is the brother of Garuda, who is the chariot person for sun god. There are 7 horses. They are actually the different figures. So you see that 4 and 8 with Aruna. So 8 frequencies. And the slowly next 4 frequencies. That's why it is Prabhodaya, Kushodaya, Arunodaya, Suryo. Udaya means rise. It's born when we see that. So that Surya Namaskara actually ignites our ductless glands. And in other system of study, yoga and all, they call nadi are activated. Like that. So we had the clue of what happens. And one of the benefits is that you make vitamin D. When the sun rays fall on your skin, there is cholesterol under your skin. which gets converted to vitamin D, is one of the most important antioxidants prepared in vitro, which then controls 108 different biochemical processes, including your immune system's well-being and calcium metabolism, bone repair, like that. Vitamin D is synthesized. So you want health, the first thing you want to do is get up, put yourself into the path of the sun rays of this different, wonderful, diversified energy frequencies, instigating, totally giving you the inspiration of wellness. So vitamin D is an important factor. Almost 30% of your health depends on that, including cancer. In fact, we had blood cancer patients, lung cancer patient. They were declared after chemo, radio, everything done, and they are in the bed, and they said, "You take them, they are ready to go." Then many of the patients come to me and tell them, even if they cannot get up and walk, take the bed and put in the sun rays, rubbers, pushes. Lo and behold, within 18 days, people who could not get up got up and started. Now it's been 18 months, just recent case. I have thousands of these cases. Now it is 18 months. She went back to the hospital and they said, "Where is your cancer?" They're looking for it. Absolutely fine. Now she's walking, running, doing everything. This is from a village lady. We have blood cancer patients, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, small boys and girls. In fact, 6% of young boys below 10 are having bone cancer, blood cancer. All this because of our food and habits. Now here we have 24 into 7 palau, night parties. No one knows. In fact, one of the fellows came and asked, I said, "You should see the orange color sun." Sun is orange. I fellow didn't even see by chance the sunset of evenings. No one knows where is sun. We are so busy running around. And even if you can see, all this pollution makes it actually see how bad we have become. Actually, that was the shock of my life. First shock was when I met 6-year-old girl menstruating. Recently, that was, his sun is orange. I said, "My goodness." And that's the only time you can see sun. You cannot see when the sun is white because we are not designed to see the origin of light. But here we are, we have tablets, we have TVs, we have smartphones, we've been seeing all the time the origin of the light. That itself is good enough for you to get Parkinson. Now, we beat the Parkinson disease by correcting the nervous system with the well-produced ghani oils, bull-driven ghani oils. They can clean up the nervous system, the toxic morbid waste, and release your nerves to be healthy. So all these kinds of experiments were done for more than 8 years, from 1997 to 2005. When I figured out that these are all things that are happening, I just listed and made a small booklet called Siri Jeevan Vidhan, Science and the Art of Living. And it is available freely, no copyright, no patent, no copy left. You can download freely. Just go to which she gives 3-day module course, 5-day module course, 7-day module course, starting from yogas to when you sleep, what to eat, how to cook, how not to cook, all this information. We have everything free. You can download Millet Magic Dr Sarla YouTube channel. The recent videos uploaded have got tagged all these books, PDFs in Marathi, Gujarati, Hindi, English, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, all are available. You can download freely and start correcting your food habits. First, go to kitchen. Thank you very much. Nick by Cherakap. He says there is medicine all around you if you are sick. You don't need to go anywhere. So everyone can find the leaves, creepers, trees providing you medicine. It is just the naturalist should know what is around. If this experimentation has to go on, we have done the experiments all over India, 60 to 70 common leaves that are available still for common man. I'm not talking about going into the forest, and there are many more these wonderful uh, medicinal plants. And like that, Bohirhavia diffusa, a small plant leaf, when you take its decoction, it can dissolve kidney stones in your body. It can help the CKD patients, chronic kidney disease patients, creatinine can come down. Like that, for each condition, we have worked out the cancerous condition, the parijat, it's called Dictanthus arbor tristis in English, Amrutpalka patta, that is guava fruit leaf, and people leaf. These three leaves, decoctions, have helped thousands of cancerous conditions overall in general. And there are particular defined decoctions for each kind of cancer, say breast cancer, bone cancer, blood cancer. So we have tabulated all this into the PDF. You can see the decoctions and the food and the particular oils if you are affected in the nervous system or in the endocrine system. So all these are diligently and meticulously worked out in the PDF. They're called updated protocols are there. We have been working, collecting the data. Every 2 years we are updating. And but I believe right now that we have reached almost to a fruitful full edition. And what I'm trying to say, there may not be many more additions in the coming future, maybe 4 or 5 years it may take. So that means we have actually got a complete what to do, what not to do. And even that one page is there in the book. So it's only 30 pages handbook. We didn't want to fill in all. People's attention is now not one page, one paragraph, that's all. But you got to read the 30 pages, understand the essence. And there is one big book of 150 pages, Siri Jagattu, lot of information. If people who are interested in the science of it, you can dwell into it. And there's one more book, cookbook, how to. So cooking is a must for you to be healthy. And so teach your husbands, your sons, your daughters, because in the cities, all PGs, they don't know what they're cooking, they don't know what they're eating, and all these orders and pizza, burgers, all these nonsensical things. The sad thing is pizza in New York, pizza in Bangalore, pizza in Chamarajanagar, pizza in Dubai, they same taste. Absolutely same. I can't believe this. That means they are using taste powder. They are standardizing, smoothing the curve, in the graphs. They just whatever they do, they have the final touch, finish. Sadly, in India, now if you go to a marriage, the catering fellows are using the same technique. So I go to this fellow marriage, the same taste. That fellow's marriage also same taste. And this is what chemicals do for you. So these are, for me, these are life-threatening trends, but they are very good business proposals. So please be aware. Keep away yourself and your kids from these nonsensical things. So when I go to marriages, I shake my hand and come out. I don't want even to enter that kitchen side. Or I eat first and go. I am hungry afterwards, time. So these are the kinds of things that I do. So you want to be healthy, go to your kitchen, learn cooking, teach your kids cooking. Thank you.